Hi, my name is Ryan Mall. I'm with CBC News Field Production Support, and today I'm here to demonstrate the Hindenburg Field Recorder app for iOS. Before we get started, the things that you'll need to go through this demonstration is, of course, an iOS device. In my case, I'm using an iPhone, but you can use an iPod Touch or an iPad as well. The other things that you'll need is an adapter cable for a microphone and, of course, a microphone. If you're using the Recorder cable, you'll need ideally a dynamic microphone like a Shure SM58. And any type of dynamic microphone will work well with this cable. But with this cable, it has a preamplifier, so you don't want to use something like a condenser microphone. The Hindenburg app is available on the iTunes App Store. There's two versions that you'll find in there. One is free. The limitation with the free version is that you can only record 1 minute at a time, so it's more or less a demo version. Then there's the actual full version, which is also available. So with the Recorder cable, you'll just plug that into the headphone jack on the iPhone. And the nice thing with this cable is it does actually have a headphone output. The headphone output, one word of caution I'll give you is don't try to use the Apple provided earbuds with these because of the microphone. The pins don't line up correct and you won't actually hear the audio correctly. So what I recommend is just another cheap pair of earbuds or just a normal pair of headphones, something like that. And then of course you'll plug the microphone in. So once you've determined what kind of microphone that you're going to use, the first step, of course, is to get the correct level. And the level that you want to get with Hindenburg is anywhere from about -18 to -6. That's sort of the range you want to work in, so where you're actually getting yellow on your meters. To adjust your level, there's a slider on the screen. Looks like an old AM/FM tuner. And essentially, if you drag it to the right, you'll get a louder level. If you take it to the left, you'll reduce the level. The biggest things to keep in mind is you don't want to be going into the red because you don't want to be clipping, and of course you don't want to go much below -36 because then you're getting into the noise floor and the audio won't be very useful. Once you've got a good level, you'll hit the big red record button, and the app will start recording. So at the top of the screen, you'll see it go red, and the counter will start. You'll also notice that the red record button becomes yellow. This is so you can add markers. They're just they're a visual flag so that you can go back and see, if you're doing an interview, somebody says something interesting, you can mark that so you know where to go back to. The only thing to keep in mind is that these markers, as far as audio software, when you're editing it on a computer, it will only show up in the Hindenburg journalist application on the PC. So they won't show up in things like Adobe Audition or Dalet or anything like that. But you can add markers as you go along. So I've got 2 here now. Once you're done with your recording, you can slide to pause, and it's much like unlocking the phone from the home screen. Once you do that, you can hit the record button again. It'll just sort of pick up where you left off and keep going. Or you can hit the plus button in the corner here, and it'll give you the option to create a new session if you want to keep recording. If you're done with your recording, you have a couple options you can go through at this point. The first one is, of course, you can go in and do a little bit of editing, and that's under the play menu. And when you're going to do any kind of editing in Hindenburg, the first thing I suggest is turn the phone into horizontal mode. It gives you a lot more screen real estate, much more easier to work with. And really, with Hindenburg on the iPhone, you're not going to be able to edit a complete piece. It's too laborious, and it's only a single track. So ideally, really all you're going to do is create subclips. And to do a subclip, what you will do is if you double tap on the screen just above the audio, you'll get 2 blue dots that appear. Those are your in and your out marks. And if you drag those out to make a selection, once you've made your selection, you double tap in the middle of that, and you have cut, copy, clear, and the star button. The star button is make favorite, and this is what you'll do to save a subclip. So you hit that, it brings you to this menu. You can name it. So we'll just call this test. And then you hit done, and now you can send just that subclip, or you can send the entire piece of audio. Okay, so once you've isolated a subclip or decided that you're going to send the whole audio, you'll want to click the Sessions button at the bottom, and you'll see all of your recordings lined up here. I only have the one from today. And the other thing that you'll notice is in the top corner there is a star icon. That will show you your list of favorited subclips. If you want to send just a subclip, you'll click on the little I button on the end of the line, and it will bring you into the share page. And on the share page, there's a whole range of options you can do. One is if you have Hindenburg Journalist Pro, the iPhone or on your PC or your Macintosh, you can send to that. Unfortunately, I don't, so I can't. You can send your files through email. You can upload to FTP if you have an FTP server configured. This is how we sort of do things here at the CBC. You can send to SoundCloud if you have a SoundCloud account. If you want to get these files onto a computer but you don't have the Hindenburg app, you can actually share them through iTunes. So you would share to iTunes, plug your camera in, open iTunes on your computer, and you can download your files from there. The other option is you can do Open-In, and Open-In will give you a range of options. This will literally show you every application you have on your iPhone that can work with the file. So you can send it to something like Google Drive, Dropbox. You can send it to FTP if you have it configured in another app. So you have a lot of options there. The other thing to keep in mind too is when you're sharing stuff through various things, you do have the option to adjust the file format. This Hindenburg won't do MP3, but it will do MP4 and it will do WAV files. Ideally, obviously, you want to work with WAV files because they're a lot higher quality. I'll just do this. But you do have options. You can have AAC files, MP2 files. You can obviously set your quality for 44.1 or 48. As far as email goes, like I say, if you're going to send through email, 10 to 15 seconds is the most you want to be sending. If you're going to send anything longer than that, then you want to use another option like FTP or Google Drive or something like that. They're a little more forgiving. If when you're doing uploads, if you're doing stuff in the field, you don't have Wi-Fi, you are at the mercy of your cellular connection. So if you have a very slow cellular connection, the longer it's going to take to send your files. As far as email, the biggest thing to keep in mind is the fact that there is a file size limitation, hence why I say no more than 10 to 15 seconds. Ideally, like I say, you want to use other options. You want to use Google Drive, you want to use Dropbox, FTP. Those are sort of your preferred methods with sending files back. Okay, yeah, and of course, if you have any questions, you can contact us in the field support office here in Toronto. Our email address is torontofieldsupport@cbc.ca, and we're always happy to answer any questions you have or provide any extra information that you need with regards to that.